boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US of A. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. So many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, exec or the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this one majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage, IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Monday, getting this week started properly. The Griftathon is here, and we have a lot to cover. There's a lot of news all over the internet. World Cup is becoming a central part of the discussion, mainly because President Trump used the Trump card, pun intended. And a lot of people are upset about that. So we're going to talk about that because the USA plays tonight. We have the Charlie Kirk trial, or the Tyler Robinson trial, the murder of Charlie Kirk going on. Candace Owens is, again, man, the fact that people actually think Candace Owens is honest is mind-blowing. I don't even blame Candace Owens for this. I'm not even mad at Candace Owens. I'm just astonished that anybody actually believes her. And it just opens up the idea that the internet is not real life, because my God, she is playing people and they just are so desperate to believe the shit she says. It's crazy. And it does kind of like, it's depressing in a lot of ways, because Charlie Kirk, by all, by everything we know, was a genuinely good dude. And the people around him, like, it's not just about Candace. I mean, let's just be straight up. Like, the fact that Turning Point still uses Charlie Kirk's Twitter account to promote their shit, I think it's fucking disgusting as well. Like, let the man rest. The fact that they're using his Twitter account, I think is just fucked up. Let the man rest. But I mean, it's just all sides of the Charlie Kirk thing, man. Ooh, it's just bad. The whole thing is bad. Wasn't she just on Sean Ryan's podcast? She was. Sean Ryan, complete lunatic as well. It's just depressing, to say the least. No matter how good of a life this dude led, it seems he was surrounded by absolute piranhas. It really does put things in perspective for you. But Candace has so much traction online right now. It really is impressive that she's been able to cultivate such an insane following through all of this. But hey, credit where credit's due, man. Credit where credit is due. But yes, so how's everybody doing? Little Jim Salo says, looks like the Patriot Front lady has charges, lol. Keenan says, did you see the movie Orange County with Jack Black? That's an old movie. Yeah, I think I saw that a long time ago. I haven't thought about that movie in forever. Keenan says, on House of Cards, did you like Lucas Goodwin? Yeah, Lucas was a good character. I mean, I think almost every character in House of Cards is really well done until the final season. And then it just kind of goes off the deep end there. Wee Doo Man for 99 cents. Stream Hero says, are you going to cover the Charlie Kirk murder trial? If so, it's going on right now. Happy 25 months to me. I turned 30 on the 10th of July. I hate getting old. You and me both, brother. I mean, it's going on right now. I think they just took a break. So they took a break for lunch. So, I mean, I'm not going to cover it in depth. I'll cover highlights and things like that. And the Stormbreaker says, all hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. That is correct. Hail to King Trump. And in fact, let's just go ahead and talk about what happened with the World Cup. So for those that are not aware, this happened a few days ago with the United States of America in the World Cup. Okay, here we go.
Tonight, the fallout growing from this controversial call. Leading scorer Fowler Balogun given a red card for a hard foul. The Stars and Stripes defeating Bosnia-Herzegovina, now advancing to the next round of the World Cup. The refs reviewing the moment Balogun appeared to go for the ball, but ended up stomping his cleat down on the opponent's ankle. The high-level penalty resulting in the player's immediate ejection from the current game and suspension from the very next game they play. The team's coach saying Balogun is disappointed.
For me, never is a red card. That was a normal action in football that happened because by accident, and it's never intentional.
According to FIFA rules, there's no way to appeal. What? Fans outraged.
The worst red card there ever was.
Others pointing to the GOAT, Lionel Messi, making a similar foul earlier in the tournament, walking away with a slap on the wrist. No matter what, Balogun will have to sit out Monday's big game against Belgium.
No matter what, he will have to sit out the big game versus Belgium. Keep that in mind, okay?
With a slap on the wrist. No matter what, Balogun will have to sit out Monday's big game against Belgium.
I definitely think it'll keep us stronger. No, one man's down, the next guy steps up.
Despite the frustration, the boys in red, white, and blue,
hopefully we can make some more history next round.
Already proving they're up to the challenge. Steve Patterson, NBC.
Well, turns out our boy might have a trump card. He may have a trump card because he has been reinstated because Donald Trump always wins. And this has sent the left into a tailspin. They don't know what to do because President Trump got involved. All right. President Trump got involved and he has completely shifted all of this. So Donald Trump thanks FIFA for reversing the one-game red card ban. So it's over. Trump has completely reversed it. And as Greg says, say what you want about Trump, but I don't think Kamala would have gotten that red card reversed. Hell no, she would not have. The power of Trump. The man just keeps doing it. And Belgium, who the USA plays tonight, has appealed it, and FIFA has officially dismissed Belgium's appeal. So
I think it would have had a big stain. And I related just that feel. I didn't tell him what to do. I can't tell him what to do. But and I don't believe he made the decision. I think it was a committee that made the decision. And they made the right decision because, number one, it wasn't a foul. And you want to see a game with your best players. You don't want to say, how would you feel if I took, we take Messi out? Look, he ran into somebody. Or we took Ronaldo. Ronaldo, you bunked into somebody. We're going to take you out of a game. He's great. Or Harry Kane. Harry Kane, we're going to take you out of the game, Harry, because you happen to hit somebody a little bit harder than you can't do that. If you would have taken him out, I think it would have really stained this incredible champion. We got to have our best players, and Belgium's got a great team, by the way. We got to have our best players, and they have to have their best. And if we win or we lose, it's fair. Otherwise, let's say we lost him and we lose the game. It would be a terrible thing. So I think they made a really brilliant decision. I think the referee's call was horrible. And nobody talks about that. They talk about the red card.
So let's be clear. Trump has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. All right. He really has no idea. All he knows is that America got screwed over. But he has no idea what the hell's going on. He could claim he does, but he has no fucking idea. In fact, here's a longer clip where Trump clearly has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. But I respect it.
Can you describe your phone call with Gianni Infantino about the red card and Belgium is appealing the decision? What's your
You're
reaction?
asking me about the whole soccer thing? So, yeah, I did. I spoke to Johnny, who's highly respected, who's produced the most successful World Cup in history by, they say, 4 times. This isn't just a success. I actually said, Johnny, we've got all these games. Each one is turning out to be a Super Bowl. And we have all these games. You know, when you think of it, every game is like a Super Bowl. Yes, I watched last night. What a game that was with Mexico and England. I mean, 2 countries, I don't know the players, although I think Kane is a great player. See, I played golf with him, and I like him a lot. He's a good golfer. But he's really great. But I watched, and no reason for me to watch, and you couldn't take your eyes off the game. Because I said, Johnny, you know, you have all these games because they added games. In a country where really it's not our main sport, to put it mildly. And this has been 4 times more successful. He told me last night, the numbers are 4 times greater. They think 50 or 60 million people are going to be watching the game tonight. I mean, you know, this again.
I think he knows more than you think he does. Bro, he didn't even know what the fuck a red card meant. Trump does not know anything about soccer. I don't either, for the record. But he doesn't know anything about soccer.
To be Super Bowl numbers. But you have a game tonight, and they think they're projecting a minimum of 50 million people watching a game. We call it soccer. It's called football, I guess, but we can't really call it football because it gets there's a little confusion. So yeah, you call it soccer. We're the only ones that do that, but we have football. And football's great. But I've never seen anything like it. So I saw the play. And I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. And I understand sports really well.
I was a good athlete.
Oh, really well. And that wasn't a foul. That wasn't even an infraction. That was 2 guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. You can't take your foot and properly place it on somebody else's foot when you're going, no, these were 2 great athletes that got tangled up, and this referee, who is a little bit suspect. If you check his past, I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy.
I don't want to say what I literally just said. Only Trump, bro.
He's a little bit suspect. If you check his past, I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy, but very suspect. If you'd like, I'll provide you with the past. He made a call that nobody could believe. You know, even people on the other side, they say, "Oh, we got lucky. Wow, and it's very interesting. They say they don't show them in slow motion, and I never realized that. I never heard of that before. That they're not allowed to review in slow motion because it's so different. Because you'll take one little quarter of a second and you'll see that a hand is touching a neck or you see something. Whereas when you see it in fast motion, it will look like 2 guys collided, which is really what happened. They got sort of entangled. He didn't do anything wrong. And he's our best player or one of our best players, a very vital player. And he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then
I didn't know what it meant.
he didn't do anything wrong. And he's our best player or one of our best players, a very vital player. And he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. I said, boy, that's a big, if it happened to another player, it would have been unfair. But when they take your best player or just about, they have some great players, and they say you can't play, that's very unfair. That's, it's one thing to penalize somebody for the game, but how do you penalize them for a game that hasn't been played yet? It's very unfair. You can't do that. So
you can't. They penalize people in sports all the time for future games. And Trump's like, how do you penalize somebody for a game they haven't played? You can't do that.
Unfair. That's, it's one thing to penalize somebody for the game, but how do you penalize them for a game that hasn't been played yet? It's very unfair. You can't do that. So, yes, I asked for a review by FIFA. I spoke to a man who's highly respected, and by the way, whose level of respect has gone up tenfold. And he was good before this started, but he really pushed it in this country. I'm the one that got them to do it. It was not Biden. Biden was asleep. I got
my man is like, I'm still going to take some shots at Biden because why not?
And he was good before this started, but he really pushed it in this country. I'm the one that got them to do it. It was not Biden. Biden was asleep. I got him to do it. In fact, it was very sad because I got him to do it. And if the progression was normal, I would have been retired now. The Democrats are saying, man, we should have just let him have his way. We would have had him gone. But I said, the saddest thing is I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. I tried to claim 250 years too, but that didn't work. They said, that one is what it is. No, I tried, but it didn't work. But wait. So I got him.
The control. Like he sensed that he left an opening and the media starts yapping. He goes, wait. And this guy back here behind him, this is the happiest human being I have ever seen. This man is happier than any person has ever been happy. Look at him. Here we go.
I tried to claim 250 years too, but that didn't work. They said, that one is what it is. No, I tried, but it didn't work. But wait. So I got him. I was so proud of it. And then I realized that, I wouldn't be president during that because I would have been out of office by that time. I felt badly. The beautiful thing about what I did is I ran. I never thought of it. And then all of a sudden I realized, I just got the Olympics and I totally got that myself. And I just got FIFA. I got that myself. We gave a little piece to Canada, gave a little piece to Mexico. I got that myself. And a lot of people helped, like that man right there, Kevin. A lot of people, that. We worked hard on that. And we got it. But what we didn't know is how successful it was going to be. I didn't know. I said, Johnny, is anyone going to show up? Because, we're not really, I think soccer's doing much better, but I couldn't imagine if you would have said to any very smart of these, like people like this, that the numbers they're doing now would be happening. They've never seen anything like it. Think of it. Take the most successful Olympics or the most successful FIFA, and you look at what's happened. You look at the numbers for this in the United States, just compared to FIFA, and it's numerous times more. It's not like 10% more, 2% more, 5%.
Bro, this was one question. This was one question about the red card. Trump has managed to take shots at Biden, take shots at the Democrats, take shots at them stealing 2020. It's amazing.
More, which is more expected. It's like 4 times more successful than anything they've ever done. In fact, I said to Johnny, let's do it again next time. And he said, that would be hard. I said, no, you do it again. But at the same time, you give it to somebody else for the next one. I don't know. It's a little crazy idea. But all I did, I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. And, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was 2 great athletes that crashed into each other and got entangled. That was not a guy punching somebody in the face or anything that, would be different. And I think it's a terrible, if they wouldn't allow, a top player, maybe the best, maybe among the best players on the team to play, I think it would have had a big stain. And I related just that feel. I didn't tell him what to do. I can't tell him what to do, but and I don't believe he made the decision. I think it was a committee that made the decision, and they made the right decision because number one, it wasn't a foul, and you want to see a game with your best players. You don't want to say, How would you feel if I took, we take Messi out? Look, he ran into somebody. Or we took Ronaldo. Ronaldo, you bumped into somebody. We're going to take you out of a game. He's great. Or Harry Kane. Harry Kane, we're going to take you out of the game, Harry, because you happen to hit somebody a little bit harder than you can't do that. If you would have taken him out, I think it would have really stained this incredible champion. We got to have our best players, and Belgium's got a great team, by the way. We got to have our best players, and they have to have their best. And if we win or we lose, it's fair. Otherwise, let's say we lost him and we lose the game. It would be a terrible thing. So I think they made a really brilliant decision. I think the referee's call was horrible. And nobody talks about that. They talk about the red card like it's fine. Nobody talks. The referee's decision to red card. I didn't know what the hell a red card was. When I found out, I said, you got to be kidding. This guy just hands up. Okay, your best player is not going to play next week or in the next game. I said, wow, that's a lot of power. That's terrible. But then I looked at his past, and it wasn't so great. Okay.
Talk to the Belgian Prime Minister before the game.
I didn't think of it, but I would. He's a good man. I will tell you this. The people in Belgium, if they win the game, they can be very proud. If they would win the game with a player missing, it would have been a different feeling. You can't do that. And I'm very glad. All I did was ask for a review. I didn't say you have to do this. This man is a smart, tough man, Gianni Infantino. He's a smart, tough man. And his stock has gone through the roof because what the job he's done has been great. And I feel we have to have all the best players in the field. You can't take the best players. Yeah, please.
Only Trump, man. Only Trump. So here we have it right here. Here's the red card moment. Oh man. Now the left wingers are freaking out. Claude Taylor says, I'm a U.S. citizen who will be rooting for Belgium tonight. Probably just me. So this guy, again, TDS is at peak levels right now. So you have these losers that are now pulling for Belgium because Trump got involved. Here's Dave Portnoy.
I'm going to need some fact checking from fact check people. But I've seen a lot of talk that this has been done before in the World Cup. Like Ronaldo had his suspension pushed off, a bunch of things. So it's not the first time this has ever happened. It was the right call. And this is united a nation. I'll also say, and I know T-Bob, you're not a Trump guy, and I don't know people's politics. If you are against this and you're a United States citizen, deported. Yes. I want you out of the country.
Get out.
If you have a problem with this guy playing because you're letting politics get in the way and you know, like Trump placed a phone call and you think this is wrong, deported. I want you on the first bus, plane, train. See ya. Go live somewhere else. This is about winning soccer. I'm going to need some
100%. Get out. And we're just, TDS has broken so many people's brains. And again, look at this guy. Like, what do you expect? Did you think that this guy was going to be a Trump guy? Really? This is point blank. TDS. The face of TDS right here. So yeah, not surprised at all that he's got make algae great again. What are we doing, dude? What is wrong with these people? My gosh. Bright Matt says, hey, Jeremy, so happy right now. England knocked Mexico out of the World Cup, and our 3 wins from taking the trophy home. Mexico are crying, and it's beautiful. Hail the 199. Come on, England. Yes, England defeated Mexico last night. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm like a soccer person. I'm not. But I'm absolutely locked in because of these crazy leftist lunatics and all their nonsense. So now it's your American duty to be invested, to pull for America, because Donald Trump has gotten involved. You have to do it now. Those are the rules. Dark Schwartz rising for $20. Thank you, Dark Schwartz rising. Let's freaking go. Dark Schwartz rising again for 20 says the amount of times FIFA and its referees has screwed over the U.S. team in previous World Cups is important to remember here. Whether you agree with this particular FIFA decision or not, we're due for a call or two our way. Well, again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know the history or anything like that. But if I'm looking as a sports fan, if I'm looking at that situation that happened in the with the American player, it's clearly accidental where he stepped on the other player. Now, I don't know what the FIFA rules are with that, if they ever make calls like that. It was obviously accidental. He wasn't intentionally trying to step on the guy. I would imagine that goes into their decision making when they call that. Is like, okay, it's incidental contact. It can be penalized in the moment, but it shouldn't have any lasting effect onto the next game. And I think that's common sense. And that's where Trump is correct, by the way. So Trump is taking a very level-headed, common sense approach to that moment in particular, and he's correct. Everything else Trump is saying, he has no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea. With soccer, he has no clue. But the weave master makes it sound like he knows exactly what's going on, and that's why we love the guy. Packy Proton says, saw this online. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris allegedly may have violated campaign finance laws by attempting to transfer $91.5 million in Biden campaign funds to the Harris campaign. Where did you see that at? I would need a reference of that. By the way, Packy Protons, I'm still planning on seeing this stupid ass Minions movie because of you. I'm glad it's flopping, by the way, this Minions movie. But yes, because of you, I have to go see it. I have not forgotten. I appreciate the support that you gave me. So I will go see it. Don't worry. Dark Red Dice says, you see Elon supporting Sneeko to be deported. I didn't see that, but that's funny if that's the case. 8 o'clock says, any thoughts on how the British government is forcing YouTube to push the BBC? I'm not overly familiar with that, but I'd have to I'd have to check. Jake, the movie geek, says, can you play Mecha Chameleon on Wednesday? I think we're playing, again, whatever Krista decides we're playing is what we're playing. So I think that we were talking about playing the Mario Kart World because of that big update that the game had. So I'm not positive what game we're playing yet. Bright Man says, I hope the USA beats Belgium. Would love a England versus U.S. World Cup final. It needs to happen. Keep on winning, and we'll meet in New York on the 19th. So that's interesting. So where are we in the World Cup? Like how many rounds are left? Because again, I don't keep up with this stuff, but now I'm interested because the lefties are crying. So how many more rounds, how many more games does the United States need to win in order to get to the final? Oh, so this is like the Sweet 16? Is that what we're like in the Sweet? If you can break it down to like college basketball terms for me, I could understand that. 3. Okay, so not many more. So this is essentially like a Sweet 16. Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Now I understand. Cole Heller says, that's why I gave Jeremy the N-word pass for life, because nobody can touch my Riga. Praise Allah. Had to say that one kind of slow. Mike says, Trump would have been the next LeBron if it wasn't for those bone spurs. Outside the target demographic says, I'm the guy who lost my job in February. New job next month. 20% plus pay. 50% closer. Camping, family time. Previous job had paid unemployment. Fuck them. Praise God. Hey, man, I'm happy you're doing well, man. That is great news. Thanks for the update. We appreciate it. I wanted to show everybody this right here because, again, so the Charlie Kirk hearing, Tyler Robinson hearing for the murder of Charlie Kirk is going on. They are currently at, I think they're on a lunch break. And it's really hard to kind of process this whole thing with like how Candace Owens is acting, but I mean, she's posting today pictures of her and Charlie Kirk. One more fight, Charlie. I don't fear these demons. We will win. And I'm just like, how sick are you? How disgusting she is. Today, the Tyler Robinson show trial begins, and she kind of just goes on this long kind of rant about all this stuff. And I'm just like, what is wrong with this woman, dude? She's really, it's evil. It's really evil. Tyler Robinson is guilty. Quote, I've had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out, pure evil. So apparently this is in the court documents at the hearing. But Candace Owens is continuing to run with this idea that, you know, Tyler Robinson had nothing to do with this. Now, again, it's important to hear how deranged this woman is. And this is why I understand when people kind of see, like, how are you making these connections? It's a general consensus of the internet. So I cover so many things on the internet, whether it's sports, whether it's movies, whether it's politics, whether it's video games, whatever it is. I cover all of this shit. And I see a common theme where the internet and real life are not necessarily connected. And Candace Owens is a classic example of that. The other one is the Epstein files. The Epstein files is a hugely popular topic online, but it doesn't translate to the real world. No one fucking cares about this in the real world. They just don't. The anti-Israel stuff, massively popular online. It doesn't translate to the real world. And that's something that I've noticed. And I think Candace is a classic case of that here. So the problem is the people that are following Candace, they don't care about the truth, dude. They only care about the narrative. That's all they care about. Listen to this woman. It's unreal.
I certainly didn't suspect Turning Point USA would be, as I believe, involved in a cover-up. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean they were involved in plotting to kill him. And I've never said that. Cam Higbee is on the payroll of Turning Point USA, the very organization that just had its leader assassinated in broad daylight in front of the entire world. What about his burial? How come we haven't seen anything about his burial?
Repeatedly questioned why we weren't being told where Charlie Kirk is buried. Did you get those answers?
You have the wrong commentator who questioned that.
You've never questioned.
Now, I want to say, because this is the internet, and I do see something that lines up with what I believe, I want to be clear. There's a chance. I'm not saying that this person, Milk Bar TV, I'm not saying that this person is doing this, but the internet, it's very easy to do this. I'm just going to assume that this person is being honest about the dates that he's showing Candace Owens say these things. Because if, in fact, all of these dates are true, this is incredibly damning to everything that she has had to say. But you could splice things up and put a date there. But Candace has contradicted herself so many times that I'm going to choose to believe that this is legit.
Why we weren't being told where Charlie Kirk is buried. Did you get those answers?
You have the wrong commentator who questioned that.
You've never asked where Charlie's buried?
Nope. What about his burial? How come we haven't seen anything about his burial?
She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too, for, quote, knowing.
I never said that. The decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. Is this going to be the pathway forward? You're going to start murdering more people in broad daylight for knowing? I never said that. I was totally in a cloud of grief. Okay, you remember I had to go away to Wyoming just to breathe. Like, what am I doing wrong here that I have to go away and cry for a long time, and everyone else just kind of seemed giddy? That's the only way I can describe it, like giddy. That emotion shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be possible, actually. I was in this aggrieved stage, and I really didn't poke my head up until weeks later when I could stop crying about it every second. Charlie Kirk, my friend, is dead. First, this is fantastic that Preborn is doing this. To remind you guys about Pure Talk. Also remind you guys about American Financing. Also remind you guys about GNO Land. Also telling you guys about Just Thrive. You can head over to our website, CandaceOwens.com. You can sign up, buy yourself a hat. I still haven't spoken to the press about Charlie Kirk, actually. I haven't even given one interview about Charlie Kirk because it felt icky to me.
It felt icky to her. Want to be clear one more time. I think Candace is absolutely disgusting for knowing Charlie Kirk and monetizing his assassination, but I don't blame her as much as I blame the audience that just watches this. And it's just like, it's depressing. Like she's going to say what she's going to say. There are millions and millions and millions of people that listen to every word she says and just eat it up. And it's just like, there you go, man.
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out. And I, first and foremost, do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I want to be very clear on that. There's old footage of Tyler Robinson that is now circulating.
And as I get into the intersection, there was a vehicle in the lane.
Tyler certainly refers to it as his car, not his vehicle.
Vehicle in the lane.
He wrote me a letter on May 2nd this year.
First and foremost, that letter he is holding up, he is severely misrepresenting. Those sentences are real. I'm saying you're severely misrepresenting the content.
I got to give her credit, though. She's extremely good at making it seem like she cares about what she's talking about. She's incredibly good at it. She is talented as hell. Credit where credit's due.
And you're doubling down on your lie. I told you to publish the full letter that Charlie wrote you, not lines of it. Okay? It's a lie by omission.
New York Post got a hold of that letter. They've now published it. Charlie Kirk expressing his love for Israel. No attacks on Israel, just advice on how to fight lies and reach the next generation.
November 25th, I obviously tweeted, Macrones have executed upon and paid for my assassination. I report to the FBI. Of course, I reported it to the FBI. I did not at all hear back from the FBI. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that. But I did send a text message to somebody very high up.
If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream.
I do remember this one for sure. I remember her accepting and saying anywhere, anytime, any place, and then immediately backing down as soon as she said it. I remember this one.
At our studio here in Phoenix.
So I accept it with whistles and bells, everything. I fully accept. You can pick the place, you can pick the time, but no, they need to have it in person in Phoenix on December 15th, or they cannot have me at all. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erica Kirk has the power to shut me up. There's nobody that has the capacity to get me to shut up about this except for Erica Kirk and my husband. I'm not going to stop unless Erica Kirk asks me to stop. If Erica Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet.
Stop. To stop.
I just do not accept any of that. Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved. There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen.
You said that people at Turning Point were complicit in his murder.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe that thoroughly.
Candace, you didn't say that.
There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen.
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
That's what you said.
I'm certain he is going to probably be doing a lot of interviews in the near future. I just cannot see how this would lead to anything other than a full confession from the government about the military's involvement in his assassination. Like I said, I'm going to put together a fundraiser for you. And I do believe you are a missing piece of this. I don't know what comes next, but I just want you to know that like you have an ally in me, and I hope you see that I am a fighter. And when I see good people and bad things happen to them, I will fight. We didn't know what it was going to lead to. And I was Like, I mean, I couldn't have been more deferential in saying that this could literally lead to nothing. You know, like, hey, this guy said this, whatever. And then all of a sudden you guys every day are obsessing over it. Won't let it go. I had him on the show. That was it. Another donor who was at the Aspen event actually says that they do remember Charlie mentioning Erica if, you know, situation, something happened, that Erica would know what to do. Couple who said that they did remember it. I cannot stress this enough. The donors who were in attendance in Aspen are telling me that Charlie never said this. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear answers.
Candace, it may be that the person in the media spewing bullshit to the public is you.
It's really amazing. And her episode with Sean Ryan, last I looked, had about 3 million views, and it was a 4-hour podcast. 4 hours. And so she has taken over the internet, and the internet is her playground. She's dominating, all while telling you that you get censored for talking about these things, even though she's dominating every platform she's on. But you get censored for talking about the things that she's talking about. Make it make sense. Wow. Charlie Kirk, a genuinely good dude. He's assassinated in front of the world. And all that has happened since then is that the people that are closest to him have decided to try and monetize him. And it's sick. And again, as I said earlier in the show, even his own Twitter account, and again, this is just my personal opinion. I mean, whatever the family chooses to do is up to them, obviously, but they still use his Twitter account to promote shit. I think, like, and maybe that was something, maybe that was something that he left behind to say, use my social media, all of that. Maybe it is. But I just don't like it. I just think, like, let the man rest. They retweet. They put new tweets out through his Charlie Kirk account. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Don't like it at all. But whatever. Some people have to do what they want, I guess, and grieve how they want. But I think that's pretty strange, and it's pretty gross. The whole situation surrounding his assassination is awful. Now, there is a live hearing in the case of Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk, that's going on. They are currently at a lunch break right now. Erica Kirk is there. Some other people have made their way there. Charlie Kirk's parents are there. I saw Brandon Tatum was there. I'm not really sure why. Not saying he shouldn't be. But yeah, this whole thing's crazy, man. So there's that. So that's the latest on that. Let me catch up really quick. See where we're at. Dragon says, Trump, Marco, what the F is a red card? Pretty much. Miniature Von thinks says, Trump for FIFA commissioner. You think so? Maybe. You just mad says, more like Claude Gaylor. Let's go USA. Sam Uri says, is Chrissy coming back to F&T? You'll have to tune in every week and find out. Darth Gavel says, World Cup final, please. Let's hope so. Packy Proton says, there is a video of Brazilian Spanish fans destroying expensive TVs over a loss. I don't get the emotion over such a boring game. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world, man. So love it or hate it, it is. Luis says, I get my official MAGA opinions here. Really? Okay. I like that. Mr. Fantastic says, hey, Jeremy, Tucker Carlson has been copyright striking small channels that criticize him, like the Artie Trolls and Joshua Carr. I just wanted to make you aware of something that might come your way. Okay. I haven't even heard about that, so thank you for letting me know. I was not aware of that. Saratoga says, did you hear about the investigation into Newsom's office and that it was started by the Biden's DOJ? Surprising, but it's hilarious how it kills his argument that it's a partisan politics blaming Trump. I heard some people discussing that. I didn't get into the details of it, so I don't know all the specifics of it. Godzilla's Greaser says snakes are unironically more pleasant than Candace. Mr. Bentham says, because of that comedian, I can't watch her on watch her or Tucker. He's really good. He is really good. The next thing that's happened today is, and I just uploaded a video over to the main Geeks and Gamers channel about this, but the face that launched 500,000 dislikes, she's running her mouth. Lupita Nyong'o, who has been cast as Helen of Compton or Helen of Detroit in the upcoming movie The Odyssey, she's decided to run her mouth. Oh yeah. It can't get, like, just when you think the Odyssey backlash can't get any worse, this idiot says the dumbest thing you could have possibly imagined. I can't believe it. So the interviewer asks her, if you could ask Homer any question, what would it be? Her answer is unbelievable.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spend with them? Oh, okay.
And then do you lean forward and look at him like that?
Yes, like, remember us? I'd be like, so.
Now, you can blame her for this if you want, but you're blaming the wrong person. The fault lies with one Christopher Nolan. Nolan is the reason that this is happening. Nolan invited cancer into his $250 million project. And not just her. He invited John Leguizamo, who said, if you don't support his left-wing politics, don't go watch his movies. He invited Ellen Page, who has a mental illness. And instead of Nolan telling this person that he has a history with, hey, you need to go get that mental illness checked out because you're clearly not well. Instead, Nolan hires this person to continue to lean into this mental illness. Travis Scott, who allegedly, I'm not going to pretend to understand everything that happened, but allegedly Travis Scott was involved in something at one of his concerts where a lot of people lost their lives. But this is a disaster. On top of that, as I said here, Lupita Nyong'o didn't even know what the Odyssey was. Lupita Nyong'o revealed in a cover story for Elle magazine that she had never even heard of Homer's ancient Greek text before Christopher Nolan cast her in his upcoming film, The Odyssey. She didn't even know what it was, yet here she is disrespecting the poet that wrote it. Unbelievable. Now, it gets better. You guys ever seen that meme? Let me post this right here because I think it's important. I think it's important for everybody to see this. So before we continue, hang on. Let me go to my DMs. Okay. Right here. Okay. So it's amazing that we keep finding ourselves in this spot. But guess who responded to my tweet right here? Angry Joe. Angry Joe is back, ladies and gentlemen. Explain how she's a dumb bitch again. Angry Joe. This is what Angry Joe is doing. Angry Joe said, you think me melting down over Supergirl was bad? I'll fucking do it again. Oh yeah, I'll fucking do it again. I'm gonna double down and defend woke Helen of Troy. That's exactly what he's doing. So my response was this. I mean, what else are you going to say to Joe? I don't know if he's even responded. Has he responded? Yep. Oh, there it is. Oh, I see. Thank you. Lupita is a pretty good actress. She's just going to read the lines she's given in the film. I'm going to guess she said something in an interview that pissed you off again. Okay, so now I got to go respond to Joe. I didn't realize he had responded. Let's see here. Okay. Joe said after Supergirl, after defending Supergirl. There we go. All right. Let me refresh. Or no, I want to refresh. So Joe said after defending Supergirl's disaster, I'll fucking do it again. Let's fucking go. So there you have it. Now Joe is he's just an idiot, man. This guy, maybe he enjoys getting roasted. Maybe he gets off on it. I don't know. But this is Angry Joe for you. Asmongold actually covered this right here. The Odyssey, it's over for the Odyssey. Here we go.
When you read the Iliad and the Odyssey, very little time is spent in the perspective of the women.
87% like-dislike ratio for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Oh my God. 446,000 dislike-a-rooskies. Check the first trailer. Well, I think the first trailer was pretty well liked, right? It was at 620K versus 130K. So it still had a positive like-dislike ratio. So this is the second trailer that it had, which had it's actually getting worse. And that's not even a little bit worse. That's a lot worse. It is a total chud uprising. The official Odyssey accounts turns off comments on marketing. The Odyssey cast joins Christopher Nolan in London. Only some accounts can reply. Man, it's so over. It's actually, dude, the hidden reply. It's, oh my God. Does no one have two wives? No, and fuck you. The red carpet. I thought we were supposed to walk the sticks. Why did this one get hidden? This is about Achilles. This isn't even a bad comment. They're so dumb. Woke movie is DOA and it got dude. Every new post is locked. Are they really? Wait a minute. So this is locked and they all have replies turned off. When did they start doing this? Every single one has locked comments. Largest screens on sale tomorrow. Okay, so then 220 comments. And then they turned it off. A reminder to all the MAGA trolls. The Odyssey is not historical. You know what? Actually, I agree with you. I want Black Panther starring Tom Holland, Ben Affleck, Ryan Gosling, Pedro Pascal can be the father. Okay, so this isn't quotes. I'm looking for the wrong one. Okay, view hidden replies. Oh, geez, guys. Oh, no. Mel Gibson is Martin Luther King. We refuse to watch this garbage. Fuck Nolan. This is just really, wow. Why would you hide this one? It's funny. They should have left this one up. Julia Roberts is Harriet Tubman. Boycott. Don't support the rewrite of history and culture. Your money matters. Fuck your race swapping garbage. What the fuck is this shit? Everybody hates it, man. If the Odyssey doesn't perform very well, I think that woke movies will actually die because you have like a massive high quality star cast. And if even this movie fails, I think it could be it.
Well, the cast has zero to do with it as much as it has to do with Nolan being involved. So I talked about this in my video that I made for Geeks and Gamers, but this is the context that you have to take into account because listen, perspective is everything. The internet very, very much hates the Odyssey. No doubt about that. Okay. Just like the internet was very much focused on the Epstein files, just like the internet is very much focused on the Tyler Robinson and the anti-Israel stuff, just like the internet said that the Switch 2 was going to fail, okay? But we have to understand perspective. Now, the reason I bring that up is because there's a couple of reasons. There's a lot of right-wing commentators that are just like, this movie's going to fail, this movie's going to fail, it's going to flop. And I'm like, slow down, dude. Slow down. So over on ChatGPT, I was asking it for perspective. And I even brought Inflation Bros into it because I knew they would bring it into it if I didn't. Okay. So right here, if you adjust for inflation, does any other director match Christopher Nolan's film run from Batman Begins to Oppenheimer? So we have to understand this goes back to 2005. Every film that Nolan has done since 2005 has been an overwhelming success. Okay? If you adjust for inflation, I would still argue no other director has an equal run. Here's why. From Batman Begins, 2005 through Oppenheimer, Nolan has directed all those movies. That's a run of 9 consecutive films. They were all critical successes. Let me, right here. They were all critical success. They were all commercially successful. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, 9 straight films, no critical misfires, massive inflation adjusted for box office, several original stories becoming global blockbusters. And so I said, so adjusted for inflation, even Steven Spielberg can't match Nolan's 9-film consecutive run. Correct. Even when adjusted for inflation, Inflation Bros, there you go. So 9 consecutive films over 20 years. Every film is a commercial success, blah, 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 blah. And I said specifically with box office, I'm not including critic reception or audience reception or mainstream appeal. Just in terms of box office with and without inflation, is there another director in history that can match that 9-film run from Nolan? And it says if you're looking strictly at box office performance, no director has clearly matched Nolan's 9-film run from Batman Begins to Oppenheimer. Without inflation, Nolan's run is essentially unmatched. Adjusted for inflation, Nolan's run becomes even stronger. And this is what I want people to realize. Just because it's getting a lot of dislikes on social media, don't just assume that this shit's going to bomb. All right? Because holy fuck. People get caught up in what they want to hear and what they want to believe, and they have zero perspective. Now, the reason I bring all of that up, and I see people right now crying in the comments going, Jeremy loves Nolan, because you motherfuckers are so retarded that you don't understand that the point that I'm trying to make is that because of this 9-film run, if the Odyssey does fail, it means more. It actually means that this would be the biggest death blow to a woke film ever. That's why the context is important to understand. If this film does fail, I don't think it will, but if it does, it will be the biggest death blow that a woke movie has ever faced. It will be case closed for Hollywood. And that is the point, to show this 9-film run that is better than any director in history. And all it takes is to put woke casting in a movie, and it can destroy a 20-plus year unmatched run. That is important. And that's the context that nobody out there is giving but me. Important to understand how powerful that failure would be when understanding who you're dealing with. But also understanding that that's easier said than done. And even though the negativity online is massive, I don't know if that translates to the general audience. I really don't know. Now, weeks ago, I was convinced this movie was going to be $1 billion movie. It's impossible to know because I can't see through all the negativity to understand what the overall perspective is. I cannot see past it. I don't have the ability to siphon through all of that to figure out what's actually going to happen. And then you have Lupita Nyong'o out here running her mouth. And this is, make no mistake, Make no mistake about it. What she just did is a Rachel Zegler move, is what she did. She went full. This is a Rachel Zegler moment. When Rachel Zegler said what she said about Snow White and disrespecting the source material, that's exactly what Lupita Nyong'o just did in this interview. This is the thing that can really hurt a movie more than anything, more than the casting, more than the dislikes, more than all of that. This shit right here, catastrophic move. And I did not think that this would happen, yet here we are. We officially have a Rachel Zegler moment for this movie. And it's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. So it's going to be an interesting way to tell if the internet and real life are completely far apart and they are not connected. It's going to tell us if woke can destroy a 20-year run that is unmatched in Hollywood history. It's going to tell us, does Nolan have the power to overcome all of this negativity? Those questions will be answered in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I guess, well, the film releases in about a week and a half. So in the next month, we're gonna firmly know what all happens. But as long as this idiot right here keeps running her mouth, I promise you, it's going to do substantial damage to this movie. And whatever that means, maybe it does 800 million, but it could have done $1 billion. Maybe it does $1 billion, but it could have done 1.5. Maybe it does 500 million when it could have done 900 million. There's no way to know for sure, but this does hurt the movie in some capacity. And that is Christopher Nolan's fault. That's nobody else. It's not Lupita Nyong'o's fault. We knew she was like this. We knew from back when she was talking about Black Panther and how the cultural identity was so important. She cared then, but she doesn't care now. We knew that she was like this. Nolan knew she was like this. He still decided to bring her in. He still decided to bring John Leguizamo in. He still decided to bring Ellen Page in. He still decided to bring Travis Scott in. It's on him 100%, and nobody else is to blame. So we'll see what happens. But time will tell. God, she is the... I'll say it here because I'll probably get clipped. But on my video for Geeks and Gamers, I actually had to re-record a couple times because I said words about her that I shouldn't have said on YouTube. So I had to re-record my video a couple of times because I kept, and I'm being careful now. I'm being very conscious about the words I'm saying because I want to say much, much worse about this individual than I'm allowed to say on YouTube. Fucking hell, man. Let's move on before I do say it. Anyway, all right. We got Nandy 450. Here is a $5 super chat. In 2000, adjusted for inflation, Odyssey will make $650 million, lose about 50 to 75 million. Production budget was $250 million. Marketing being nice, assume is 50 million. Yeah, it's really difficult for me to make a prediction right now because I don't know. My gut feeling is I would not bet against Nolan from a standpoint of box office performance, but I also wouldn't bet on wokeness. And so, yeah, it's really tough, man. It's really tough to see what this movie is going to make. 650 would definitely be a disappointment. That would not be a flop, but I think that would be a disappointment for them. I think 500 million is a flop right there. It's summertime. Minions and Spider-Man will dominate. Well, Minions is not dominating. Minions is underperforming big time at the box office right now, thankfully, because Minions is dog shit. But here's what's very interesting. Minions underperforming, which is a Universal property, and the Odyssey is also a Universal property. And so if Minions and the Odyssey both have a bad run at the box office, that's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal for Universal. So we shall see. Somebody says, go see Young Washington. Well, as a matter of fact, I did go see Young Washington, and I got to say, highly recommended. Man, It is so good. The movie was fucking awesome. Really didn't know what to expect going into it and was completely invested from the moment it started until the moment it ended. Top-notch acting from William Franklin Miller. I won't go into many details, but I appreciate how it focused on flaws of the young George Washington and how failures are learning opportunities to become better. Great message. It's inspiring, it's patriotic, it's well shot, it's well acted, and the most important thing, I can't wait to see more, and I'm hoping for a follow-up. Great job to everyone involved. And it looks like we are getting the sequel, 1776, apparently that has already been greenlit. So dude, awesome movie. And the guy that's in the lead in this movie, that dude was awesome. Made by Angel Studios. I know they've had a lot of controversies, but this movie was on point, man. I was really, really happy with it, and they did a great job. Great job. So, and it's doing pretty good at the box office. I don't know what the budget is on this movie, but it's doing very good at the box office. So I highly recommend it. Right now on Critic List, it is sitting at a 79%. So it's looking really good. 51 votes. So yeah, man, really, really good. So I'm really happy about it. And it really wasn't on my radar, but many people, I saw people talking about it. So I decided to go check it out. And yeah, very good stuff. And 1776 apparently is in production as well. We'll see. No Barbenheimer meme and Spidey will dominate, but there is nothing after Brand New Day. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man's going to dominate. There's no doubt about it. But it's weird because even like Toy Story right now is not hitting like a lot of people anticipated. Don't get me wrong. Toy Story is still going to be huge, but I think Toy Story is dropping off a little bit. I don't think Michael's even going to hit $1 billion. It's going to be very close for Michael to hit $1 billion. Michael did just pass Oppenheimer as the biggest biopic in history, but not by much. I actually thought that Michael was going to blow past $1 billion, and it looks like it might not make it to $1 billion, sadly enough. So we'll see. But yeah, Spider-Man, I think 1.5 billion minimum. Every theater around me is sold out with Spider-Man. It's crazy. Spider-Man's going to be huge. Massive. Spider-Man could have 200 million opening weekend. Yes, it could. I think what did No Way Home do opening weekend? Like 260 million? I think 200 million is definitely possible for Brand New Day. Mr. Bindler says, because that comedian, I got that one. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage says, football is a commie sport. Chris Coran says, you can still get a refund on your Odyssey tickets. Josie says, Mexican fans booed our national anthem during one of their games here. Our anthem was played because we are one of the hosting countries. Fuck them. Fuck them. Glenn Jones says, tell me African myths, cultural poetry. I'll wait. Nothing. Maddie says, hey, yo, Homer, where the black women at? Taco Woman Sandy Rabbit says, Angry Joe has a pee fetish. I just think he's so lost in his TDS. Oh, by the way, Marmillan for 20 on Rumble says, pre-stream chat grift tax or chat stream grift tax. Double it. Was late again, damn it. Much love. No homo to all the 199, especially the 11%. Hope you all are having a fantastic Monday. Thank you, Marmillan. Appreciate it as always. Is Joe, like, let's see if Joe's responded to me again. Like, he's just so retarded. Let's see. No, he hasn't responded, so he's such an idiot. He's like, yeah, man, I did all the defending of Supergirl. Now I'm about to jump on this Lupita Nyong'o defense now. Like, all right, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Whatever works for you, buddy. He's an idiot. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how. See, so this is a problem with a lot of the conversations right now. Wall Street Mav, clearly a pop culture expert, Christopher Nolan has canceled all screenings of The Odyssey with movie influencers. He's only allowing approved critics to see it in advance. He's waving the surrender flag. They know they have a financial disaster on their hands. Do you know how many of these I am screenshotting? My God. It's the same exact thing that they did with Oppenheimer. It's literally the same exact thing that happened with Oppenheimer, but you have a bunch of people that don't understand pop culture at all. I saw someone the other day, and they said, Christopher Nolan has deleted his X account after all of the backlash he's facing for The Odyssey. I'm like, fuck. What are we doing? What are we doing? Nolan deleted his X account over backlash for The Odyssey. Fuck. Ugh. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on anymore? Making us look bad. That's my problem with it. I have said from day one, when all these people were crying about the armor and crying about the, like, none of that shit matters. It's the race swaps. That was always going to be the problem. Race swapping is always the problem. It always will be the problem. The message gets muddied when you start talking about shit that 99.9% of the fucking people watching it don't give a fuck about. The same people that cried about armor in fucking Troy. They all whined about that. It's not historically accurate. It's not, who gives a fuck? Like, Troy was an awesome movie, but all the history bros cried about Troy. Now they all love Troy. The problem is woke casting. That's the problem. That's always going to be the problem, and it should always be the problem. All the other stuff is just, it bogs things down and complicates it. Stay focused on the message. All it takes is one black woman to get you 500,000 dislikes. I like that message right there. That's a message I can stand by. And I hope Hollywood learns that message. Hollywood needs to know it. All right. You just put one Shaniqua in your movie and it's over. Learn that lesson the hard way. Yes, Black Snape is a problem. Yes, Black Snape is a problem. Black Snape got you all those down votes. Black Helen of Troy got you all those down votes. Cole Hauser says, I'll stick to my words I said on Open Bar last week, and no disrespect to you, Jeremy, my brother, but the Odyssey will flop. I will see. I don't think you're correct at all, but we'll see. TJ says, here's $5 USD plus the cost of freedom adjusted for inflation. Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, did you hear me on Daily today? I told Ryan and Jay that I disagree with you about the Odyssey, and I said it will be mid. Won't make a big profit. No, I didn't hear about that. Let's see. Cole Heller says, you have the N-word pass. Use it. Cole, I did many times. That's why I had to re-record my video. I was like, that's probably not gonna get me monetized on YouTube. Taco Woman Sandy Rabbit says Plattner canceled several campaign events scheduled this week. Allegations that he was a patron at a underage brothel during his time in Iraq. Holy shit. The Skeleton King says, I hope the U.S. wins the World Cup. It would be so funny to see all these countries that care about soccer cry and throw a tantrum. USA, USA, USA. That would be funny. And that's usually the best outcome on social media is whatever's going to be funny. That's it. Whatever's going to be the funniest outcome is usually the best outcome. That's how I've always looked at it. And through all of these interviews, this is what's annoying about all these interviews with the Odyssey. None of these pathetic losers are asking Nolan about the controversy because they're scared, because they want their access. That's really it. They want their access. And oh, no. Oh no. The memes are so fucking good. Oh, goodness. That is not far from reality either. Not far at all. I saw this picture the other day. I got to find it right now. it was the Odyssey cast, and they were taking pictures. And it's just, there's never been a more obvious like miscast in history than having Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. It's crazy. So Anne Hathaway, who's pregnant, is standing next to Helen of Troy. And the difference is truly astonishing. Okay. I got to find this picture where it was. So this was Anne Hathaway. She's pregnant, and this is Anne Hathaway. Okay. And there's a picture where she's standing next to Lupita Nyong'o. And I'm like, how the fuck did you think putting her next to Lupita Nyong'o was going to help emphasize that this is the most beautiful, the most beautiful woman? It's crazy to me. Where are all these pictures at? I'm trying to see. There's so much shit right now online. Yeah, right here. Okay. Come on, man. What are we doing? Anne Hathaway standing next to the face that launched 1,000 Nike stores. All right. The face that stole 1,000 iPhones. Good Lord. And she's pregnant. Anne Hathaway is pregnant. And she's destroying Lupita Nyong'o. Fuck off, man. It's crazy. Worst casting decision ever. And to be clear, and this is one thing I do appreciate about Christopher Nolan. The man is always willing to take his accomplishments and surpass them. So we got to give him credit where credit's due. Because Christopher Nolan, he's kind of like that Michael Jordan meme where he's like, and I took that personally. People said, hey, Nolan, Maggie Gyllenhaal is the worst casting decision in cinematic history when you cast her as Rachel in The Dark Knight. And Nolan said, and I took that personally. So Nolan said, I'm going to make an even worse casting decision by giving you Helen of Compton for the face that launched 1,000 ships. I mean, credit where credit's due. He definitely has surpassed his previous accomplishments, so give him credit, okay? Hollywood just hires ugly nowadays, pretty much. Let's see. Where are we at? Miniature Realm Thing says, breaking, Christopher Nolan deletes personal cell phone over Odyssey backlash. Yeah, man, the narrative is so fucking stupid at this point. Donnie Quid says, it's hilarious because Penelope and Helen are cousins. The face that launched or that caused 1,000 shits. Dude, all right, you guys are killing me in the chat. I can't repeat some of this shit, but I'll highlight them. I also do believe that one thing we have to take into account is that with the Odyssey, why is this happening? You know, with the massive dislikes and all this shit, it's like it's happening because everyone is pointing that negativity towards the Odyssey because of the last 15 years. All right, the last 15 years of wokeness has all been pointing to the Odyssey now. So when you go to, let me see if I can find it. So the first one right here, I think I did this in my, so is this the first trailer right here? No, this is not the first trailer. So that's the second trailer. The first trailer had, I think, a really good like to dislike ratio. I gotta find it. What is it? What did I say? Why is Jeremy talking about massive dicks? Did I say that? I mean, Your mom knows I have a massive dick. But anyway, the Odyssey trailer, the first one, had a very good like to dislike ratio right here. 600,000 upvotes to 135,000 downvotes. Now, at the time, it had about 50,000 dislikes or something like that. And you saw that completely shift to the second trailer, and it got even worse. And then you go to the final trailer, bottom has just completely fallen out right here. And why is this happening? And I think that this is happening because everyone is pointing their negative energy over the last 10 or 15 years of wokeness. They're pointing it to this movie. This is kind of representative of everything we have seen for the past 15 or 20 years, whether it be Star Wars, whether it be Marvel, whether it be all the other properties we've seen. And it is all kind of culminating right here towards the Odyssey, because this is Christopher Nolan, a guy who has a phenomenal track record, and even he now is dipping his toes into this bullshit, and people are just sick and tired of this shit. And we'll see how this all plays out, but I do think this is representative of the frustration level that people have felt. This is the Marvel fans, this is the Star Wars fans, this is the DC fans, this is the Doctor Who fans, this is the people that watched Ghostbusters 2016. This is the people that, watched The Acolyte. This is the people that have seen every single fucking property that they have loved hijacked by this stuff. And I think that everybody is kind of sharing that frustration and pointing all that energy towards this, rightfully so. And that's not to take anything. I'm not trying to take, blame away from Nolan. Actually, I'm putting more blame on him because this is the industry that he's the king of. He's the king of this industry. And this industry has made this bed and he's having to lay in it. That's it right there. This industry did this. This industry hijacked everything. And you are the top of the industry. And now you are paying a price for the very industry that you are the king of. And nobody should feel sorry for you at all. And they don't. Rightfully so. Let's see. The Odyssey might be the next Room. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. But hell, I didn't think we would be in this position, and here we are. Charlie D'Angelo says, watching The Odyssey will give you diarrhea tax. Flag Ninja says, massive tax. Skeleton King says, I got that one earlier. Thank you, Skeleton King, for the super chat. Is Nolan the top director currently? I mean, I don't think that the only other person that has an argument is Denis Villeneuve, but yeah, Nolan's track record is unmatched. So yeah, he's the top director currently, especially coming off of Oppenheimer, and how well that did. So Villeneuve's the only other guy I think that has an argument, for sure. Oh my God. Listen, I don't want to be mean. And in fact, I'm actually going to compliment someone right now. I personally want to give a huge compliment to Howard Stern. Howard Stern hasn't left the house in 42 years. And it took Christopher Nolan's Odyssey to get Howard Stern to leave the house so that he could interview a person with mental illness. So big credit to Howard Stern for leaving the house. I mean, that is an accomplishment right there. Big credit to Howard. He's not even wearing a mask, but Howard Stern is like quadruple vaxxed, so he should be fine, right? I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm not sure what either of these are, but there's a good Lord, man. What a disaster. Oh man, oh man. Wow. Is this oh, there was a clip earlier I was going to show, but I'll wait because we're still talking about Odyssey shit right now. So Little Jim Taylor says Mitch McConnell allegedly dead. I've heard a lot of reports on Mitch McConnell, so I don't know what's going on with him. I have no idea. Saratoga for 20 says, regarding the Odyssey, I'd agree there's an IRL internet divide. I don't think normies are watching these interviews, know the source material, or even recognize who Paige is lately. So would they recognize wokeism here? Well, that's the thing is like, until we know, like, is the movie woke itself? We don't know. And until we see the movie, we won't know if the movie itself is woke. I've brought up like One Piece, for instance. One Piece, the live action One Piece has race swaps, has a trans weirdo in it. But the show itself is not woke, in my opinion. Even though it has woke casting decisions, the show itself is not woke. So until we see the movie, we'll find out. If the movie itself is woke, that will have a significant impact on word of mouth and the normie audience. But until we see it, we won't know. But in terms of the normal audience, for sure. Dead 3187 says Ryan and Jay look young in that photo. Piano Dean says there's only two good times to get diarrhea: when you're playing Scrabble and when your cellmate makes his move. And that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, so forget the Odyssey. We've got, all the, I guess the world premiere is going on right now. We'll get shill reactions a little bit later. I would not take those very seriously because all of these people are going to say whatever they can to keep their access. So that really means absolutely nothing. But what we do have is President Trump being President Trump. President Trump says, we have a woman here that is so respected and so hot. Nicki Minaj. Nicki, please stand up. What?
It never happened before. We also have a woman that is so respected and so hot and so great and such a great friend of, I don't say conservative, I say of common sense. She's not conservative or liberal or, as they say now, progressive. Liberal became so tarnished, but now it's communist. They say social democrats. No, social democrat is a communist. All right, just so you know. There's no so. If you look at the people that are running, it's crazy what they're doing. But we'll never let that happen to this country. It can't happen to the country. You can't. There's no appetite for it, especially since we've literally now. You're going to see numbers coming out over the next 6 months, I think, that nobody will have ever seen before. But she's a fantastic person, and she's a woman that's respected by everybody, and she's got real talent. Nicki Minaj. Nicki, stand up, please. She's such a great person, respected by everybody. Today, 38%. It never happened before.
She's so hot. Everybody check her out. She's the hottest. We love her. And good Lord, man. The man is just it's unbelievable how good he is at comedy. We don't deserve him. Nico for 50 says, bro, I just finished watching Terminator 2. It's free on YouTube. We need to go back to 1991. I miss the 90s. Leftism is a terrible thing. What happened to James Cameron and Arnold? TDS. Robert Patrick is based. I've seen his YouTube channel. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. I have this, like, it's hard for me to be disrespectful to James Cameron and Arnold because of how amazing they were in their heyday. And even like James Cameron, I mean, the guy did like the Mariana Trench. Like, he didn't have to do that. He's just a freaking psychopath. I can't believe that James Cameron did that. I can't remember how far down he went. He was like, it was the deepest dive for an individual in human history. Like, the dude is crazy. But I respect it. Like, a crazy nut job like that, man, even if he's a leftist and even if he's got TDS, It's fucking crazy, man. As far as Arnold goes, yeah, when he said screw your freedom, though, that's like, yeah, I mean, I obviously lost a ton of respect for him. I lost a ton of respect for him when he went up against Trump. I thought that it was a huge wake-up call for Arnold in a bad way, but it was a huge wake-up call when Arnold tried to do the Apprentice and it failed. You guys remember this? So Arnold tried to take over The Apprentice and it only lasted one season and then it failed miserably. And I think that was a wake-up call for him that maybe Trump is just more popular than I am. Maybe Trump is just better than I am. And it probably hurt his ego a lot. It probably did. James Cameron nearly killed his cast on The Abyss. I believe it, man. And yeah, man, people can say whatever they want about the Avatar movies. I really like the second one. I mean, I've only seen the first one one time and I saw the third one time and I wasn't impressed with either one of those. But the second movie had a really strong family dynamic to it. But they are incredibly well done from a technical standpoint. They really are. James Cameron's just a crazy lunatic. And I say that with all respect. But yeah, Terminator 2, easily one of the greatest action movies of all time. Proud American says it was 6.7 miles down. Good Lord. Like, seriously, people don't understand that. James Cameron, Mariana Trench. So, look at this. There ain't no effing way, bro. There is no way. And again, this is why I say, like, perspective is everything. He can be a crazy lunatic, but you always will have my respect for having the balls to do this. That is crazy. The deepest living fish ever filmed. And this nut job goes past that. It's deeper than Everest. Dude, I'm scared just watching this shit. My stomach is turning just watching this shit. Insane, man. Absolutely insane. So, respect, but it couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But thank you, Nico. I appreciate it, brother. Why is he doing this? Because he's a nut job. But we need crazy people like that. Glenn Jones says Aliens was a bad movie. 6 soldiers killed 5,000 morphs. If the Earth, if they got to Earth, let's see. If they got to Earth, I stomp on them. Aliens is awesome. It's been a long time since I watched Alien and Aliens. I think I liked Aliens more than Alien, but they're both phenomenal and they're different movies. I'd have to watch them again, but I really loved Aliens, man. But they're both like, one's like a horror movie, the next one's more of an action movie. So let's see here. Mark Reale says, been in video conferences all day. What did I miss? You missed a comedy show from President Trump talking about FIFA and the red card that he didn't know existed. Jeremy, make the prediction on Odyssey profit-wise. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what it needs to make profit, but I've consistently said that I think it's going to do around $800 million at the box office, which obviously makes it profitable. I don't know if I see $1 billion, but yeah, I'm sticking with my $800 million prediction. I don't know if I would shift that because, again, I can't tell with all the negativity surrounding it if that's going to have an impact. It's really hard to tell. But yeah, I'm sticking with 800 million as my prediction. Mark Reale says Arnold was always been in favor of the dark side ever since the maid said she preferred the back door. If you know, you know. John Jones says, fun fact, James Cameron was at the Titanic wreck during 9/11. He didn't find out about the attacks until he surfaced. Is that for real? I didn't know that. That's crazy. How old's James Cameron now? Arnold was never conservative. I mean, I can't tell you if I know anything about his old ways. I never heard of his politics until obviously got into politics, but saying screw your freedom is pretty much the most anti-American thing you can say. And he did say that. He's on record. Now, I know he's apologized for it and all of that. I'm not sure how you're able to be forgiven for saying screw your freedom. That's amazing. President Trump just called Elon Musk high IQ. I'm a cheerleader for geniuses.
Have you spoken at all with Elon Musk about further share donations as well as other corporate leaders about share donations specifically?
Look, I'm like a cheerleader for geniuses. I love geniuses. I love high IQ people. He's a high IQ person. I love high IQ people. And I speak to Elon. I speak to Mark. I speak to Jeff. I speak to everybody. By the way, in the first term, less so. In fact, at my first inauguration, none of them were standing behind me. They were just the opposite. And now at this last inauguration, every one of them was standing behind me. It was sort of amazing. No, I speak to all of them. And I encourage them. I want them to be tremendously successful. Now,
it's interesting because this is just a sad reality of the time we're in, where we don't really appreciate people when they're here. We wait to romanticize them after they're gone, and then future generations will then have this version that has been romanticized. But like, Elon Musk should be celebrated, absolutely celebrated. He is legitimately a genius, and he's legitimately a huge net positive for the world. And he gets so much hate and so much disrespect out there for making the world a better place. That's what Elon has done. And the things he's accomplished, nobody else could pull this off. Not to mention he saves free speech. He is, outside of Trump, he's the number one reason that Trump is in office. And, we don't appreciate people in the moment, sadly, though. And it sucks. It does suck. Let's see where we're at here. What is this? Charlie Kirk murder suspect Tyler Robinson was seen laughing in court today, just feet from Erica Kirk, according to the Daily Mail. The outlet reports that Robinson was seen laughing at one point with his attorney. Oh my God. Charlie's parents and Erica reportedly left the courtroom today when Utah Valley University police officer Chris, Bagley, started testifying about the moment Charlie was shot. Today was not the first time Robinson has been seen laughing or grinning in court. Back in December, Robinson was caught on camera grinning during his first public appearance in court. Disgusting freak. Gosh. So right now they are currently here. There's Tyler Robinson.
Reference to the minors, I think, would still fall under the protection. And so for all those reasons, we would object to that coming out in public and being discussed in the public forum and being published in any way. And we object to it coming in.
All right. And so if you wouldn't mind just restating the rule that you're relying upon so I can fully look at your objection.
It's the UCJA, the Utah, Code of Judicial Administration. I just blanked. The Utah Code of Judicial Administration for Rule 4-
Joe replied to me. Did he really? Hang on. Let me see what Joe said. Or I want to keep this going.
parenthetical 5 and parenthetical capital O.
All right. Thank you. I'm just
Yes, sir.
getting there. I want to review this before I hear from Mr. Sturgill.
DEI attorney, pretty much.
I've reviewed that, Mr. Sturgill.
Just let me address, I guess, a couple of things. Ms. Nestor actually brought up, I think, both the 1102 statement that we intend to introduce and sort of referred to the video. So let me address each of those one at a time. With regards to the 1102 statement that was prepared by Ms. Wright, Judge, it was gathered in compliance with the Utah Rules of Evidence 1102, specifically subsection B8. It's a statement that was gathered by an SBI agent. It was prepared with knowledge of the advisory that it was going to be used at the preliminary hearing, and it also included the warning that if a false statement is given, it's going to be a Class A misdemeanor. Judge, I don't know what additional foundation you'd like. Well, that's kind of where I was going, Judge, is I was trying to lay a little bit more foundation just to introduce that statement alone. I haven't got yet to the video. But with regards to the 1102 statement, it has been collected in compliance with Rule 1102. As I stated, B3 or B8. And as we all know, Rule 1102 allows reliable hearsay, as does the state constitution, Article 1, Section 12.
So what exhibit will this be? I want to look at it not for the purpose.
100% Stormbreaker. Let's do it. I will take your bet. Sydney Sweeney for free for a week. How about that? Deal?
Because I haven't seen
All right.
it. Sure. And I haven't done the analysis to see if that objection is.
Judge, it is State's Exhibit 6.1.
Let's see. Somebody just said, my
Your Honor,
understanding.
just for the record, we just want to make a record too that it's difficult for the court to make a reliability finding when the individual is not here to be tested and cross-examined. And for those same reasons.
No,
that
he's
we
sitting right there.
list
That's
in our
him.
Standing objection. We just want to reiterate to the court that we think it really hampers you from making that reliability determination.
Thank you.
If I'm not mistaken, that's him in the tan jacket.
Well, just that 1102 doesn't require that, Judge. It doesn't require that the witness be here to corroborate the statement that they've already prepared.
All right. All right. I've had a chance to review State's Exhibit 6.1, taking into notes what Ms. Nestor noted, UCJA 4-202.0 and referencing the section she did.
Well, and Judge, I don't mean to interrupt, but I had not yet addressed that rule. I would simply just add to that judicial rule, it has nothing to do with admissibility. It's simply publishing it. And I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me just hear your full
Yeah,
argument.
I didn't realize you wanted to hear all of it. I thought you were going to rule on the 1102, but.
Well, I want to focus on the 1102. I want to keep this clean. So let's
Right.
focus on the 1102
Okay.
and we'll stop
Sure.
there and I can make my ruling. And then if there's any objections, I just need to take it one step at a time to be thorough. So
Sure.
I'll hear all your arguments about the 1102 statement. I'll return to Ms. Nestor for any final thoughts, and then I'll make my ruling, and then we can move to the next stage.
I appreciate that, Judge. And I think I think I have addressed the 1102 question.
Gentlemen, speak up. I've looked for a feed that's got a better audio, and I can't find one.
That's what you want to rule on first, and then I would address the UCJA 4-202.02. And if you want me to do that now, I can do that. And it's just simply that it.
And I can't boost audio on StreamYard, so I apologize.
It has everything to do with publishing that. And Judge, I think if you'll look at that written statement, I believe Ms. Wright's personal information, for the most part, has been redacted. Other than that, and beyond that, Judge, I'll leave it up to your discretion.
Well, as it relates to, well, let me take it one at a time. Let's start with the last statement. What I have in front of me, Plaintiff's Exhibit 6.1, has her full information here: address, phone number, social security number.
Okay, Judge, I apologize for that. I thought we'd provided a redacted version of that. Yeah.
Still can't believe Charlie's gone. Me either. But the worst thing about it is that the people that are around Charlie are continuing to, monetize it. All right, there. I turned subtitles on.
What's going on here? I think we provided you with an unredacted version some time ago. The version that we have and are prepared to present today is a redacted version.
Could I have a copy of what you're intending to admit into evidence so I can consider what's before me?
Yeah, it's a little frustrating with the audio. So if there's better feeds over there, so if you guys want to go check that out, but I'm kind of just wasting time trying to barely listen to this shit. So if you guys want to go watch the feed, just search Tyler Robinson court hearing today, and you can go watch it in its entirety. But I can't boost the volume, so I'm not going to sit here and waste everybody's time with that. So my apologies. My apologies. Oh my gosh. Look at the memes from the soccer player. He's back. Yeah, I was just talking to the president. Now that's a good meme right there. That's a great meme. Oh my goodness, I love that. So what time's the game tonight? Is it like 8 o'clock tonight or something like that? I think. If that's the case, I will be. So here's the thing. I will go live again after the game, depending on what time it ends. How long? Again, I'm a sports fan. I'm not a soccer fan. So what time will the game end tonight, roughly? What time are we expecting? If it starts at 8 Eastern, how long do soccer games last? 2-3 hours, something like that? 90 minutes? 2 hours unless it's tied? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then I will go live again tonight. I will definitely go live again tonight after the game. So we'll see. Fuck that. Stream over it. I mean, maybe I'll just stream over it. Thanks, Cole. Yeah, I think I follow that account, or I'm aware of that account on Twitter. 90 minutes? Okay, that's not bad at all. I didn't realize soccer games were only 90 minutes. That's interesting. So, Minister of Rome thinks this Candace is defending this guy. Oops. Becky says, hey, Jeremy, happy American Pride Month. When will you stream Mario Kart, since there was an update 199? I think we're supposed to stream it Wednesday, but I don't know what Chris has decided on that one yet, so I don't want to say, because I don't ever pull rank on that one because I'm rarely there. So I'll let them decide what they're going to do. But I have heard there's a good update for Mario Kart World. Very interested in checking that out. So maybe soon. But there's an added time at the end of each half, and halftime is about 20 minutes. Okay. All right. Not too bad. So that's good. It's at least 2 hours, bud. There's a 30-minute break for halftime. So like any other typical sporting event. Okay. We would rather watch a white boy like you, Jeremy, says Cole Hauser. Well, I appreciate that. Mark Rally says, don't hate the court-appointed defense attorney fulfilling Tyler's Sixth Amendment constitutional rights. I'm out. More conferences. You are correct. It is his right, and gotta appreciate that. Even though he is a piece of shit that should never ever be taken seriously. So, all right. So we're gonna call it there. Another stream tonight after the soccer game, not football. Soccer game. But yes, this was a good stream. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me for a little while. We'll do another stream later tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. So you guys have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.